Anchor price update. Let's get into it. So Chris, today we will be taking a cheeky look at the ANKR coin. We'll be taking a look to see, what exactly is going on here with the ANKR price. As we get into this, guys, if you do find the video useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you'd like to stay up to date with all of those hidden gems and new cryptocurrencies that we talk about here at Cheeky Crypto, then do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything we talk about here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free and you will stay well informed, so why not? Chris, anything else you would like to add before we jump on down to the charts and start taking a look at what's going on here with ANKR?
Yeah, just let us know in the comments below where you think the ANKR price will be come the peak of the bull run. Really interested to know.
Fantastic. Right, let's jump on down to the charts and start reviewing the price for ANKR.
Let's do it.
So this is ANKR to the USDT. This is the daily chart, and Binance is our data source. Now, we have got a Fibonacci retracement on here. We have the moving averages, the 50, the 100, and the 200, along with a relative strength index and our MACD down at the bottom here. We've also got the volumes, which are a good indication as to what's going on there. And also, we've charted up quite a few different price and timelines. Now, the first thing I want to point out, over here on the left-hand side, we have, what's actually happened since the start of the year. So since the 1st of January, ANKR's seen a high of 3,007% gains, which is quite significant. Obviously, it has had a pullback, which would pull that down to around that 2,129% gains. So for those early investors, you've done incredibly well, and you probably be quite proud of yourselves. Now, if we pull into this Fibonacci retracement, this is set from the low level of the 21st of March through to the high that was achieved on the 28th of March, okay? Or the 20th to the 28th. And that's an 8-day range, okay? And in that range, if I actually grab my, my date and price range tool, let me just grab that. There we go. I'll just get rid of the other one. So 8 days, it achieved 225%, price discovery there. So it really shot up by 225 within 8 days and had a slight cooling off period. Now, so far we've been trading sideways here for about 15 days. Okay, so quite a significant trading sideways kind of time scale, but time's always the hardest one to kind of get your head around. And from a prediction point of view, incredibly difficult to predict. Now, with this correction, we did come down to the 618. We've been hovering around that 618 area for quite some time. We also pulled down to the 50 and the 382 before coming right back up and trading between the 50% retracement and the 618 area. Okay, so things here are pretty much textbook and nothing really to talk about. We are below that 618, but we are above the 50%. So we're fighting that resistance up here and that 618 area. That comes in at about 16 cents. Now, what's interesting is this blue line that I put onto our relative strength index, which comes in at 55.1, is some area that we've been bouncing from before. So on the last run that we had, that 225% move, we had a double bounce on this line, and that's almost what we're seeing right now. Okay, so we kind of come back. I'm expecting a slight pullback in the same way. So you can see in the middle section here, we didn't quite go back all the way down into that area. So potentially there's an ability here to maybe come back down, bounce off this line once again before we finally launch. But things on this daily RSI are looking pretty interesting. And we are at that low point where we were bouncing from before. So wanted to see if that continues. Now the volumes are decreasing and have been decreasing since we had that high point. With that being said, they are still decreasing on the hour and they're incredibly low, which means it doesn't take a lot of volume now to really get things really heating up. So really want to watch that space quite closely, because I think once everything lines up on the 4-hourly, the hourly, and the daily here, the volumes will start to be noticeable and will pick up, and we'll start seeing some pretty good price movement with the ANKR coin. So things are moving nicely. Let's take a look at the 4-hourly chart. And again, here you can see how we're crossing that threshold, right? A previous area of resistance there, and actually moving up quite a bit here. So that's interesting. So we have got those moving averages in and around our candles, we have a cross over here between the 50 and the 100 moving averages. And most recently, yeah, the 100 seems to be acting more as a resistance line, but that is coinciding with our 618 area. So we're going to be watching that situation, see how that develops. But most recently, within these last few candles, their volumes have been increasing. Nothing amazing, but they have been increasing a little bit there. And if we just scroll on out here, we can see more detail of how these candles have been forming, how they've been resting on that 50 moving, that 50 retracement zone there, that 50% retracement zone, and finding that upper resistance at the top. So pretty much in line with what we're seeing within that daily chart. And obviously our RSI is in a pretty good spot at 56, loads of room to grow if we need it to. And we're just crossing over that important 55.1. So if we go ahead and pull this into our hourly view, the hourly view again shows us that we're actually fast approaching that overbought area. So a pullback is going to be due. And I reckon we're going to probably fall down towards that 50 area once again. And this is kind of in line with what I'm talking about with that daily chart. I'm expecting a short-term pump that we're kind of seeing now, and then a pullback, which will pull it right back into this area here, at least on the daily, and that will then launch us off. So I'm expecting a pullback maybe to come right back down into this zone down here, somewhere in between the 40 and the 30 on this RSI, so right down at the bottom of this point on the hourly. And then on the daily, that would actually represent a bounce from our 55.1. Okay, so if we can get that, with this being nice and low on our hourly, that will also correct on the 4 hourly, and we'll get that nice correction that's needed on the daily. And once we have that, I think we're going to start seeing some pretty good motion to the upside from there. I imagine that we'll get into and firmly conquer the 618 before moving into the 702, 786, and then trying to go ahead and set some new all-time highs. So things here are kind of, coming to consensus of what I'm seeing on the daily. So we're looking to come back down and get another bounce on our 55.1 on this daily chart. From there, we should be able to then start moving and taking over the 618, that's above 16 cent, before going into 17.2 cent and then 18.5 from there. And obviously we're looking to take over and set new all-time highs. So anything above our 21.7, okay, that's the area that we're looking for, which is currently representing a 39% move from its current situation. Of course, we are going for that first price target. Our main target here in the short term is 31 cent. Okay, and 31 cent does actually kind of, just get rid of that for a second, come in here, and that's a 99% move from the current position. So we have quite a bit of work to do. It's not going to be quick. It's not going to be easy. There is going to be points of resistance and correction, but I think we are coming to an end on this sideways trade. I think by the end of today, we'll most likely get that correction that's needed towards that 55.1 on the daily RSI. And then that should allow us the room to grow into the 618 area and potentially even that 702. So potentially bordering into the 17.2 cent area. Okay, and if we can get that up there, I think during the rest of the week, we'll end up trading sideways before trying to get into the 786 at 18.5 cent. I think ANKR, Chris, is well positioned now to continue its upward trend. The correction appears to be coming towards its end of its life, and I think ultimately we're going to start seeing some pretty good price action with the ANKR coin here. And obviously, if we just scroll up to the top, we have got a higher kind of dollar level prediction. This is where I think we're going to at least see during the bull run. And that's still another 547% on the table here, at least in my opinion. But Chris, anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I just, there's lots of panic, isn't there, around the price action, obviously with a bit of sideways action. For me, it's healthy after sort of the run that we've had. We've seen this with Harmony One. They're both kind of doing very similar things, price wise. And I think that demonstrates how healthy it is.
Absolutely. So guys, if you found this video useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to stay up to date with all of those hidden gems, new cryptocurrencies, then do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free and you'll stay well informed, so why not? And with this being said, we hope everyone has a fantastic day and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.